Hey y'all, come look at this.
What's up, Goblin Nation? It's Jibrian and welcome back to the Goblin Show. Happy to see you here. Can you believe they finally did it? RELL Games has delivered us a gift. After all this time, we finally know what Haki is going to look like in RELL Seas, and not just normal armament either. We've seen CONQUEROR'S Haki. And when we're done looking at that, we'll take a look at some classic suggestions from the Discord. By the way, you can join the Discord in the description below. If you don't have a crew or want to join our fleet, then we have another Discord server for that too. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, buckle in because delicious times are ahead of you. First, let's take a look at the CONQUEROR'S Haki effects and animation. I think the effects look great. I sort of felt like something was missing, but after rewatching it a bunch of times, I think it's good. The thing is, if you remember the show, CONQUEROR'S Haki isn't really consistent. Probably because of the differences in power level, but also the color would be different between characters who are pretty evenly matched. The color is even inconsistent with the same character sometimes. Like here's a clip of Luffy using CONQUEROR'S and it's purple, but there's also clips of him using it where it's yellow or red, so we're not really sure what the color means, I guess. So as much as I do like the visuals for the CONQUEROR'S Haki effect, I do think it should get more intense with the lightning the better you are at using it. You know, like a mastery thing. Also, a major thing I've got to compliment the RELL Bros on is I can actually see while the effect's going on. In a lot of these games, they just throw out red, like, blinding effects and you can't see anything. Also, I have a bit of a theory that the reason people think this is kind of underwhelming, because I've seen other people mention it, is because it doesn't have any audio. And I think sound design is, like, really important when it comes to Haki. For example, let me add some audio and then see how it changes the overall vibe of the clip. Honestly, I think it adds a lot. And now that we've seen the CONQUEROR'S Haki and discussed it a bit, let's go over some hopes I have for it. Overall, we've seen how the colors for Haki can vary, so one of my hopes is that there'll be different colors of Haki they could get. We don't know how rare Haki is going to be, but most people are assuming it's going to be really rare. So I think it would add an extra layer of like coolness if like you got a super rare color variant, for example, like purple or red. Now that's not a super unique idea, even though I do think it would add a lot. A unique idea I actually have is maybe Haki doesn't just have unique colors, but different sounds too. We already know different characters have different sound effects, so imagine if you got like Shanks' Conquer Haki sound effect instead of Luffy's. I think it'd be really cool and another cool thing to get. Now, whether or not you can pay to like re-roll, I would prefer it if you couldn't, you know, that way it would make them even more rare if you just like were stuck with whatever you got color-wise, sound-wise, that kind of thing. I know someone might get annoyed if they get like purple, but they really wanted yellow, but I think you should be happy with getting CONQUEROR'S in general, so it's just kind of icing on the cake, I think. It makes everyone stand out a little more. Another little, you know, theory, I guess, or I guess hope I have is that the visual effects do change depending on the level. I know I mentioned it earlier, but maybe that's why it looks this way. Like, if you remember when Luffy first started out, it kind of just looked like air. So maybe that's how it'll start for us, and then we have to level it up. Honestly, progressing Haki like this would be peak, because I know a lot of these games, you just get CONQUEROR'S, and it's already, like, one and done. It works the way it works, you know what I mean? Oh, and if you look at the background, you'll see observation at work. This is a super early design, so I'm sure they've changed it by now, but hopefully it looks a lot better since the whole blue screen and auto dodging is so overdone. And now that I've personally talked about my hopes and fears for CONQUEROR'S Haki, let's head over to the suggestions and see what other people are saying. Here are a couple ideas from Sam Lee in the Discord. The first thing is the color changing. We kind of agree on this one. I think everyone really agrees on this one, to be honest. Oh, and the second one is a little more interesting. It's the ability to tie the CONQUEROR'S Haki into fights, so it's not just like one move that you use to bully like new players. One thing we do see in every other One Piece game is that CONQUEROR'S just knocks people out, and I think that's pretty boring. Obviously there are a lot more ways you can apply it, like the weapons, especially if you're going off the show, so hopefully they lean into that a little more. Oh, and if you look at the bottom, Kai, I think that's how you pronounce it, they theorize that it's not obtained but awakened, which I've seen other people theorize that like everyone has it, but you need to unlock it with some hidden challenge, or maybe there's a mechanic we don't know about. So that leads into the next suggestion. This one's actually from the official RELL Games Discord, so it's okay to make fun of them. This one suggests that CONQUEROR'S is obtained through a similar like the last suggestion where it's just like a random thing. But in this it would be through ambition, so you do things that you're way under leveled for, that kind of thing. And as the person below replies, they kind of think it's impossible to code. And I kind of agree, because it's such a weird, like, it's not like a thing you can kind of grasp or see or touch, you know what I mean? And on top of that, I think once people figure it out, stuff like this will be really easy to cheese. Like, someone even points it out at the bottom, and then the reply is that, like, maybe Ambitious is like winning a 3v1, so the game can tell you're being attacked by 3 other players. But then it's kind of like, okay, let me get my 3 alt accounts online, or my friends, you know what I mean? And then maybe it's like, they always add on to it, you know, to kind of explain it, like maybe it can tell when they're actually fighting you based on how many attacks they're doing. And it's like, well, you could still fake that with friends, and then also you're just adding more work for RELL games, and I don't even think it would work, you know what I mean? Like anytime you try to explain how difficult it would be to code something like this, they're always like, well, maybe you can only get like 1 credit per like different enemy you fight, that way that you can't farm the same like friends over and over. And it's like, come on, dude, people just find like server hop and then find someone to help them. Like I could probably do it with my Discord. And the next post is about Conqueror's Haki not being luck based. A lot of people think it should be luck based, so this might be considered controversial. Honestly, I agree. I don't think it should be luck based, since people are just going to make new accounts over and over, you know what I mean? And I notice I say that a lot, you know what I mean? I don't script these parts where I'm giving my my thoughts, so I end up like, you know, using a lot of vocal tics, like saying you know what I mean over and over. So comment you know what I mean below if you got this far in the vid. Honestly, a big thing I've kind of realized is we're kind of supposed to be like the worst generation, you know, like the main pirates that make it to the further part of the game, or I guess part of the anime, right? Whether it's C2 or whatever you call it in the anime, the new world. So if we're all supposed to be these like high level characters, because obviously anyone can make it to the, you know, the next sea in a game, then doesn't it make sense that we all have Conqueror's Haki? I know not everyone in the show has Conqueror's Haki, especially later on, but most of the high level players do, or high level characters. Like if we're strictly talking the One Piece show, name your favorite character, they probably have Conquerors, you know what I mean? So, oh, god damn it. So my point is that it's not that weird for every player to be able to get it, especially if you're just kind of increasing the odds from the show. So, let's say for example 20% of characters in the show have Conquerors in the later seasons. Maybe they just raised it to like 60% for the game. So that's not even really that bad, especially since it's not like we're the only characters. There are a lot of NPCs in the game. I've seen a lot of people say that Conquerors should feel special and not everyone should get it, but honestly, I don't want people to miss out just because, you know, everyone wants to gatekeep it. Man, I kind of dragged that one out, but let's move on to the next one. This one's by Kid Eater. I'll try to go through these a little quicker. The first one is Conqueror's Haki should have a button mashing game, like a mini game, you know, to whoever mashes the button more has better Haki. I hate this one. I hate button mashes. My friend's really good at them, so he always beats me. So I definitely hate this idea. F tier. I don't like you. I'm banning you from my server, actually. And number 2 is Haki should be learned from a quest and not just like bot for 10 belly from a guy named Ball Oiler. I also don't think people talk enough about how weird it is that people are just teaching us stuff for money. Like, when does that ever happen in the show? You know what I mean? I know it's a game mechanic, but it's really weird to just pay someone money and they teach you Conquerors. As far as quests go, I think it'd be really cool if they did something like maybe you help someone out and then to pay you back they teach you, you know, like kind of more realistic, like where you earn their trust, that kind of thing. Number 3 is Conquerors should be able to stun electrical stuff like submarines or vehicles, that kind of thing. I don't really like this one. It feels kind of random. I know it has a lightning effect, but we're not even sure that's actual lightning. It could just be a visual thing for art style. Number 4 is being able to coat weapons like Yoru, for example. I think everyone wants this one. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's true to the show and would be a fun mechanic, so I definitely agree with this one. Number 5 is Haki color should be achieved by different quests. This one is also kind of interesting because previously, you know, you talk about earning it through quests, but the idea of getting colors is kind of weird. Maybe it's like the way you get it has like 3 different ways to progress, and depending on which one you pick, you get a different color. Like if you do the aggressive one, you get red. I don't know, could be an idea. Number 6 is Haki color should have a menu so you could change your Haki color. I don't like this one. I think it would make it feel a lot less special if you could just earn a bunch of different colors and then select them, because then everyone's going to pick the rainbow one that they're going to add, because there's always a rainbow one. Number 7, they should add a way to make like to harden your Haki. That's definitely a suggestion. Number 8, Haki should be invisible to non-Haki users, but you can see the particles. I actually had a similar suggestion where observation would allow you to see them. Maybe you don't need to activate observation, but maybe it just, you know, having it learned allows you to see Haki. Number 9, the stronger you are at Conquerors, the less the effect would be on you if someone else used it. I like this one. This one kind of just feels like a balancing thing, to be honest. Number 10 and 11, I don't like. I already banned you, I forgot, so, you know, enough of this suggestion. And for the last one, we have another one from the RELL Games Discord. This one is make Conqueror's Haki OP, make it a large scale stun, but make it a large scale. Why is it so hard to say? Make it a large scale stun, but you can only use it every 5 minutes. Man, maybe I'm the idiot here. Man, I can't wait to get a comment that's like, actually in the manga, it's called a stale stun, so you're stupid. And that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I ended up talking a lot more than I thought I would, you know. I was planning on doing different kinds of suggestions, but maybe I'll do a second video this weekend. I know you guys are always bugging me for more videos. Good problem to have, I guess. I'm planning on doing my next video about movie 2, probably theming it around hopes and fears, you know, that kind of thing, what people want to see, what they don't want to see. So if that sounds interesting, then stay tuned for next one. Anyways, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching.
Like you want fat tears, like, didn't you break your chair?